West Ham United 1, Tottenham 1, finished at the London Stadium, a point on the board. Maybe it should have been 3 at the end, but credit to the boys tonight. Very, very good. Before we get into a triple like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. First, I'm joined by Lucas. Lucas, how are you?
I'm good, Jake. Hope you're well.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm joined by Luke as well. Luke, how are you?
Yeah, I was better now than an hour ago.
Yeah. Let's take it back at Lucas. I'll start with you. Lineup, there was mixed thoughts. No Schumacher, which was disappointing, obviously, with the illness. Would you have liked to seen more change in it or not?
No, I actually like the change. As soon as I saw the first 4 names, I was very happy. It seemed that we went to a back 4. And it was weird at first because I saw Fornals the very first 3 minutes run back into a left wing back position. I was thrown off a little bit in defense, but in general, I was happy to see that we were going to a back 4 and not matching Tottenham, because I've said for a week, or not a week, but since our last match, that I want to see us overcrowd them in midfield. I want us to have the extra midfielder, because I think that would give us a big edge. And I thought it did today for what I saw.
Yeah. Luke, the first half, let's go into that. Let's just go straight into the VAR thing. One angle, it looks like it's his arm straight on, and then the other angle, it goes off his head and on. Right decision or not?
I just think everyone that complains about VAR, I think if you look from the referee's angle, it was unequivocally a penalty. But that angle they showed where it hit his head, then his arm, you can't give those. So for all the VAR haters out there, they got that one right, I think. Yeah, and I don't blame the ref either, because from where he was, that probably looked like it's on the arm.
Yeah, I agree. Right, let's bring Tottenham fan Sean on. Sean, straight into the VAR thing. Right decision, wasn't
it? The laws just yesterday, correct decision. Probably was a penalty last year, the year before, but it wasn't. You're right. It was the correct decision. But what I will say is, Cresso's got a habit of just his position or his body position quite often for you is shocking. I think, did he get sent off twice to you in Europe or something last year? He gets his body in a bit of a mess, doesn't he? He got very lucky. He's the right decision, but he got very lucky with it.
Yeah. Overall, how did you rate the whole game from both perspectives, Sean?
I thought it was a really bad game, to be honest. I don't know. I haven't heard any West Ham views, but for me, it's the worst game we've been involved in this season, put it that way. So it was just quality-wise, it was a derby. Well, it didn't even feel like a derby at times. Quality-wise from both sides, it just wasn't quite there, I didn't think. It was a little bit like, I think I come on last night and I said, would Moyes be happy with a draw? And you did have a few half chances, but it just lacked quality a little bit. And yeah, not a great watch, I didn't think, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Lucas, we could have easily came away there with 3 points if that Antonio shot hits the inside of the post. If Antonio gets anything on that in the final minute, we walk away with all 3 points. Are you happy and content with a point after the performance and what you saw?
I predicted at the beginning of the week 1-1, but when I saw the lineup, I was really hopeful for just a cheeky 2-1, because we always seem to just squeak something out. But yeah, I'll take a point all day, honestly. That was by far our best performance of the year, or season rather.
Yeah. Luke, we saw Lucas Paqueta come on for a short while. A little bit of miscommunication for that one with Emerson, but that's to be expected. He looked pretty sharp, didn't he?
As wonderful as it was to see him, and he probably will be a very, very good player for West Ham, I think having just signed him, it might have been better to stick Cornet on.
Fair enough.
It was a little bit like into the crowd rather than the guy that's been there and done the hard miles for.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
If he'd have swung that one in that came across the box and it flew into the top corner, it's a masterstroke.
Yeah. Sean, You mentioned to me all week about this Kulusevski. He did nothing, did he? Let's be honest.
I don't think I don't think he did any more, any less than most of the players on the pitch. I thought there was very few standouts. I think your guest just said it's the best you played. It's probably the worst Tottenham played. Put it that way, and I still think we were probably marginally the better side. But I just think
better side, but who had the better chances, Sean?
Sorry?
Marginally the better side, but who had the better chances? I don't think it was Tottenham.
Yeah, but you hit the post, and that was about it. I just think there wasn't a lot to talk about in the game, to be quite honest with you. That's the problem. Everyone sort of nothing really clicked with Tottenham. I thought West Ham, you sat so deep first half, you almost let us have the ball. And do you know what I mean? I did think at half time West Ham surely can't sit that deep. It was all I sort of sensed the Moyes tactics was sit deep, let us have the ball, and last 20 you go for it. I think that'd be more of a fair sort of with the subs as well. That's how it sort of come across. Kulusevski didn't have.
Sean, I would say that is David Moyes' tactic. Keep it tight, 70 minutes, then go for it. If we can hit someone on the break and get a goal, brilliant, or a set piece. But that is David Moyes writ large. 70 minutes, keep it tight. If we can, brilliant, we'll take a point.
I totally get that, and obviously with Tottenham are known for counter-attack, because I know it was an own goal, but it was the one time we carved you open on it, the goal. I think Declan Rice gave it away quite poorly in his own box, didn't he? Next thing you know, other end goal. But so I totally get sitting back, and I said last night, I said to Jake, I wonder after the minute whether you just don't want to lose that game. It's probably a draw was a fair result, but I just think, I didn't know if it was in 3 or 4 games time and you've had maybe another win, another draw. I'm not so sure your home fan base would have been happy with how you set up. Do you know what I mean? In the first half, because you hit the post first half, but you sat very deep for a home side. So. But
to be fair, I think that's what we're going to expect, and that's what probably David Moyes is going to do against the big sides. Lucas,
also sorry, just before Lucas, but just to say that if West Ham defenders and goalkeeper had messed around with the ball so much as Spurs did in the second half, well, I wouldn't like to be on the training ground tomorrow with David Moyes, because my God, what bonkers, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. But overall, Lucas, Souček's had a lot of stick over the last few months, and to be fair, I think it's rightly so. But I think he stepped up tonight. I thought he played well. He took his goal well, and it's got to be hats off to Mikel Antonio as well.
Absolutely, I thought tonight was Souček's best game in a long, long time, and he did everything well. The only thing I can remember he'd done wrong, because I've been pretty much like Souček out this season, but last season I was still on his team because I like to play the odds. He had one great first season, the second season not so good. So the third season I still think he should be allowed to play it out, and we can make a decision from there. But tonight he was absolutely superb. He had one bad touch, and that's the only thing he did wrong tonight. Game saving tackle on Son on the breakaway, could have easily scored if he wasn't there. His goal was magnificent. Antonio's little flick to him was beautiful. And he was just immense in defending today. And his passing, I have to tip my hat to him. His passing was very solid today. It didn't look janky or awkward at all. He was very fluid tonight. As stiff as a man he is, he looked pretty fluid.
Yeah, he did. And overall, Luke, we just looked more up for it. You know, we pressed at times high. We did put Lloris especially under pressure quite a few times, and Davinson Sanchez, we obviously targeted him at times as well, and put them into a few sticky situations. You know, early on in the game, both Basuma and Sanchez picked up yellow cards. It just seems, Luke, that we were more up with it a bit more, and we wanted it more, and there was more going for us than what we've seen in the last few weeks.
Yeah, but I still think I counted 3 short corners.
No, I know.
Yeah, we've got to stop that. That is
get me started on that.
It's one of our great strengths, big lads into the box. drives me up the wall. Short corners, anyway. It's like when the goalkeeper's got the ball, he plays it back to the centre half, and then the centre half just hoops it anyway. No. So I think we did put them under pressure. I was surprised that we didn't, because I thought Spurs did sometimes play the Conte dark arts, and I'm not saying we didn't. I'm not saying we're better or worse than them, but I did think that they tried to play a bit of that. And I didn't understand why we didn't just stick Antonio right on Davinson Sanchez and try and get him that. If not that second yellow card, he's under pressure anyway. But I felt 1-1 was a fair result. I thought Spurs, I expected them to control the ball more than us, because A, they're in inverted commas a better football team than us, and B, David Moyes likes to play that tactic. I thought basically first half was Spurs, second half was West Ham.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Sean, I think to be fair, would you say that the whole Højbjerg antics with Rice putting a good tackle and then him rolling around about 5 times, then coming to the second half, his boot falls off and everything, and that just really didn't help you, just kind of rattled you a bit, and then we go up and score. I think Spurs fans might blame that slightly on Højbjerg there, because I thought it was very strange from him.
No, I don't think Højbjerg did a single thing wrong at all. I didn't get that one bit. No, but it wasn't a foul, but it was a very nasty tackle. He was genuinely injured. That was clear as day. There's no antics there. And then his boot was off. He needed a new boot. So I'm surprised he lasted 90 minutes. I think he was clearly injured, which is on one half is worrying a bit for Tottenham that we didn't sub him, which tells you Oliver Skipp's nowhere near fully fit yet. But it was a great tackle by Rice. 1 second late, his red card. So it's one of them where it was a hefty tackle. He's not one to go down. He's not a play actor. He's one of those real tough sort of players. And somehow, I don't know how his boot managed to get ripped between that and... So, yeah, but I wouldn't blame him on that at all. We went to sleep. I think a lot of the good things you did sort of come from Spurs' own doing. Do you know what I mean? We went to sleep a little bit there, and the left side of the defence dozed off. Basuma. I think Basuma getting booked very early helped you as well, because I thought he was very good first 20 minutes. Then once he got booked for dissent because it was a ridiculous decision the ref gave you. I think Bowen sort of twisted his own ankle, didn't he? Landed awkward, and you got a free kick from it. He didn't even get touched. But I think the midfield Tottenham midfield fell apart a bit. They had one half fit and one on a yellow, and it was definitely affecting him. So, but I don't think Declan Rice did a lot in the midfield again. I think Souček's probably a better midfielder. I don't think Rice. Yeah, the midfield was there for him to go and run that. Do you know what I mean? We've got one on a booking, one's limping, and I didn't see Rice really get up and down, try and control that midfield. So I'd probably still have one eye on that was a 2-man midfield when you had a third man more or less in there. And our midfield, I was concerned at that point. But yeah, you had a few like half chances second half with the ball. If it had just rolled the 5 yards in front of you, might have had a chance. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with that game, to be honest with you. I did think from a Tottenham perspective, I thought Ivan Perisic was the best player on the pitch by a country mile, to be honest. He looked like he didn't belong in that game, to be quite honest with you.
He was magnificent tonight.
He was
I have to say, he was quality.
And it was bad. You're on about your short corners. I'm watching it with my son, and why Son's taking some of the corners for us. Do you know what I mean? His delivery is just not good enough at the moment. But yeah, I think both teams will move on from it. I think West Ham probably be happier with a point. Moyes definitely be happier with it. I haven't heard the Conte comments, but I don't expect him to be happy. And give it a few hours or days, and he'll be moaning about us not having enough players for him as well, probably. Especially now we've got 2 injured centre midfielders and 3 probably.
Well, I think that shows. Go on, Luke.
I was saying you've still got Harry Winks.
No, he's gone to Sampdoria. He's gone Serie A on loan for the year.
Yeah, obviously shipped him off, but just to mention about the man of the match thing. I mean, to be fair, it just shows what on earth they Glenn Oddle on there. I don't know, because he gave man of the match to Antonio, which I'm going to take, but I've got no idea why. Just coming off the back of what Sean said there.
I have to say, Jake, he didn't give him man of the match. He gave
Did he
him
not?
person of the match.
Oh, sorry. Just coming off the back of what Sean said about Declan Rice there, Lucas. What did you make of him today?
I thought he was, I wouldn't say back to his best, but he was very good tonight. Almost vintage Declan Rice to what we know. But I think Souček may have outshined him tonight because Souček was just absolutely superb. But Rice again, I thought this was probably his best match as well. And I was really hoping to see the Declan Rice of the last 15 minutes against Villa today, and I thought we did. He did. You could put him at fault for the goal we conceded because he did try to do a very long 1-2 into our box, but at the end of the day, it did end up being an own goal. I think Kerr or Zuma could have maybe done a bit better, but still, I thought he was pretty solid tonight. But Souček definitely outshined him.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Sean, I'm going to let you go. Anything else you'd like to add before I do?
Not really, mate. I don't go on Twitter because Tottenham fans won't be happy. I know that they've set themselves high standards. But I think it's not a bad result for West Ham. Like you said, you got to build your season up slowly. You got these new players coming in. I think we said yesterday. I think Moyes would have probably took this. The last thing you want to do is go and lose to a rival at home after winning, because that sets you back a step again. So I think it's a fair point, but probably a better point for West Ham and Spurs. But then again, like you said a minute ago, if you're playing a top 4 side or a top 5-6 side, you probably take a point more often than not. So yeah, it's a deserved point for West Ham. Disappointing that Tottenham didn't really click. That's all.
Yeah. All right, Sean, let you go. Thank you very much.
No worries. I'll go on, boys.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Oh, let's get the Spurs out of that. But
it smells a lot better now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I'm going to be my next guest in just a second, but I'm just going to fire through some comments first. Let's start with Eamon. Eamon says, very good performance from us after going a goal behind. We could have easily folded. Turns out we could have easily won it. We need to build on this. Dan, hope you well. Before kickoff, you said you'd take the point, even a chance at the end to nick it. Nick it deserves to win that, I think, but it's still a good, strong point. Yeah, I agree. EP, hope you're well. I'll take that. Thought we played well, to be honest. The new guy looks good. He did. He certainly did. Right, let's bring our next guest on, all the way over from New Zealand. God knows what time it is. Andy, how are you?
Hey, not too bad. Long time no speak. Haven't been on for a while.
Yeah, good to see you. What did you make of that?
Is that the sun going up or the sun going down in the shadows?
Coming up, my friend. It's 9 o'clock in the morning here.
Oh, not too bad.
No.
Andy, what did you make of that, mate?
Actually.
Yeah.
Hey?
What did you make of that today?
We seem to. I don't know what Moyes does at half time, but he definitely G's them up. I think he makes a change in their attitude. He watches for 10, 15 minutes, and then he makes his subs. So 65 or 60 minutes, I'd expect him to bring Paqueta on, and he did. A few of those injuries in the second half didn't really play out for us, especially at the back. But I don't think Kane or Song or the other fella threatened us too much. In fact, the second half probably went to us on balance. And like everyone said, we could have nicked it right at the end. 10, 15 minutes out, I thought we were good for 2-1. The ball that was missed by Paqueta and Emerson across the box, and then the one from Bowen, bang on, that was in the goal. But I tell you what, I've been critical of Souček recently because I fear he plays up too far. He's supposed to be the 2 covering the 4 in front, and he always plays, for me, way too far upfield. And actually, now you see the strength of the man, that he's in there right in the middle of the penalty box, and what a goal! What a fantastic strike. So yeah, not unhappy. I think later on in the season we probably would have pushed hard and would have expected to win that one, but I'm happy with the point.
Yeah, I think we all are. Luke, one thing I didn't quite agree with was we took Creswell off. Yeah, fair enough. But you bought Ogbonna on and put Ogbonna at left back. Then they bought Richarlison on, who for the first thing he did was he just blistered straight past Ogbonna. Luckily, it didn't come back to bite us at all. But until Emerson came on and he kind of pushed back and supported a bit, I found bringing Ogbonna on and putting him at left back was strange.
Yes. But I think what he wanted to do was move it to 3 at the back in 2 stages, I'm guessing. I agree. I think we've spent 2 years moaning about Moyes making no substitutions. Now he does. We questioned the one he makes. So the one I didn't agree with, as I said earlier, was bringing on the new guy, who the commentator kept calling Plaqueta, which annoyed me. But I thought, yeah. So I could see what he was doing once Emerson started warming up. But yes, you're right. But at the end of the day, it's great to see Oggy back, and it didn't cost us anything. So yeah, if David Moyes is making substitutions, let's make him let a few wrong in the fact that he might make a few right down the road.
Yeah, fair enough. Overall today, Lucas, do you think Moyes got it right from the starting lineup to the subs to getting a point out of it? Do you think Moyes got it right today?
I think he got about as much right as he could. The only other option I could have thought of was possibly dropping Bowen for Cornet, because obviously Bowen hasn't been too hot to start the season, but that's as much as he could do when it come to change and a few players. But I thought he got it pretty much right today. And the subs, I think Cresswell came off because he had a bit of a knock, and he already wasn't the fittest coming into this week, according to X. So yeah, I thought the subs were good, and I thought the Paqueta sub was absolutely magnificent. Not because of the player he is, but in a derby like that, it's 1-1. You got to get the crowd back into it somehow. It was a brilliant idea. If we were playing like City or just another random team, not a derby, I don't think he brings him in. But I thought that was very clever from him, and you could see Areola translated to him. It
was brilliant.
From Nolan. It was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, Nolan probably don't speak French.
I'll say one thing about Bowen today. Whilst I don't think he was in the game as much as he was last season, his best game, but he also got absolutely clattered around the pitch.
Did. Yeah,
him and Antonio, I'm telling you. And I've dubbed Antonio the most abused man in football recently, and that guy just cannot buy a foul from anywhere. He did get one towards the end, but him and Bowen were getting absolutely clattered today.
Yeah, 100%. Andy, I want to talk to you about Kehrer, because it's been a bit of a roller coaster start for him in the Premier League. Penalty against Brighton, played very well against Villa. Own goal that, to be fair, Son will be annoyed about, and to be fair, it's not the worst thing in the world because he stopped Son scoring, which is all right. But of course, disappointing for him. But apart from that, I thought he was very, very good again today. Alongside Zuma, I think they're building a bit of a partnership there.
Yeah, I think he's settled in quite nicely. He's a pacey guy for a centre back, eh? He's not the tallest of centre backs, but I think he's settled in quite nicely. He's got an understanding there with Zuma. I don't blame him for the second goal and the penalty. Yeah, maybe it was a little bit rash against Brighton, but no, I think he's settled in quite nicely. I think he'll be one of the first choices if we're playing a back three. If we're playing a 4 and we get our left and right back straight away, then maybe Dawson with Zuma, maybe Zuma with Ogbonna. Maybe he doesn't get to play in a back 4, but at the moment with the injuries we've got, no, slotted in quite well. Quite happy with him. Good buy.
Yeah,
Good purchase.
for sure. I think, and Paqueta, I thought he looked lively from what he did. He came on straight away, he put his foot in, and he got the crowd up, which was good to see. And Kara is going from strength to strength. Let's move on to some final thoughts then. Luke, I'm going to start with you. What's your final thoughts, mate?
Happy with the point. One, I agree with what Sean said earlier. It was quite a turgid game, wasn't it? It was everything, a lot of bouncing balls through the middle of the park.
Very open, very, very open.
I just felt that I'd have settled for a point when we went in. Ultimately, we could have got 3. I think the new guys are starting to bed in, and once they start to bed in, we'll see some of the old guard leave the 11. And I think Chelsea, is it Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday now.
Good time to play them because they don't look good, and the natives are restless. So if we get a point there, it takes us on. And from losing our first 3 games, everything's rosy again. We're going to Europe. I think it's a good game. We played well. I think 1-1 was a fair result.
Yeah, fair enough, and especially a lot more confidence going into the Chelsea game with their midfield very makeshift at the moment. I think so.
We were undone by the little bit of the fact, Skamaka was ill, so hopefully even him on the bench would have been nice to bring on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll go into the next few games with a fit squad, and away we go.
Yeah, exactly. Lucas, your final thoughts, and do you think this now gives the team and the dressing room a bit more confidence going into a game against a vulnerable Chelsea side?
It has to, in my opinion, because like I said, this is our best match of the year by a long shot. And when Paqueta came on, I feel like that gave the boys a spark, gave us a big lift, and he seemed to unlock the rest of the game. It seemed to get a bit more open. He's just such a shining light on that match. Honestly, it was so good to see him. And oh my gosh, if he even got that shot on goal on Soufal's cutback, I can't even imagine if he would have scored that. The world would have erupted. The world may have ended. He may have ended, but it was just beautiful. And we should be taking this momentum into Chelsea on Saturday. I said at the beginning of the week, if we were to pick up a point, I think we'd do it against Chelsea because I think they're a bit on the slide right now, and I think Tottenham are very, very solid. I think they're a very good club, and yeah, I think we should be pushing for some more points on Saturday and take the same approach as we did today. If we play 4 in the back again, we have that extra midfielder to overrun there too. I think anything can happen because I always say I think the game is won and lost in the midfield. And today, I think our midfield was better, and we could have easily come away with 3 points if that very last chance goes in. But I was very pleased. I'm gonna have to hop off, but thank you for having me on, gents. It was good to see you. Let's have a great rest of the week and bring on Saturday.
Cheers, Lucas. Thank you very much, mate.
Love you all. Stay safe.
Cheers, Lucas. Bye-bye. And Andy, I'll hand over to you for your final thoughts.
Yeah, I think I picked that starting lineup as we finished. I thought Emerson over on the left rather than Cresswell. Soufal, I think, definitely had an improved performance after his last game. He looked quite sprightly, actually, zooming up and down there on the right-hand side. And so Paqueta in that number 10 spot. I tell you what, he occupies that spot like Lanzini used to do. And I know that Souček likes to move up and sort of sit in that attacking midfielder position. But if we've got someone who is a natural central attacking midfielder, then he's probably going to be the choice for that number 10 spot. And then it's a case of who do you play left and right? Benrahma is always unlucky when he comes off. He shows a few sparks and he gives the ball away. It's quite frustrating for Moyes to see him perform like that. Fornells always gives his lot, and I think he chases back quite well. So yeah, for me, I think we're getting closer now to the ideal setup for a 4-2-3-1. Maybe we're not quite ready to play 3 at the back and 5 in midfield. It depends, how we picked our style of play and who we're playing. Because sometimes for us, playing with a back 4 works better. But no, not unhappy with tonight's performance. Spurs were dismal. So was their support. Could hardly hear them in the second half. And I think everyone would have gone away from the stadium nice and happy. And let's look forward to Chelsea on Saturday.
Yeah, 100%. We've got to build on that again. Let's just take some more of your comments. That Amos says last 2 games have stopped the rot. Let's hope this gives us the confidence to push on for the rest of the season. 100%. I agree. Suchek, good game tonight. I agree. Usual suspect. Hope you're well. Terrible start to the season, but picking up now. We are getting sharper all over the pitch. We are beginning to show signs of what we had there last season, which is a massive, massive positive. And we've got to take that into. I've got to take that in to Saturday now, and it feels really weird saying we're playing on a Saturday. Hey ho, I think the last time was in March against Liverpool was the last time we played on a Saturday. So that'll be interesting for sure. But of course, now all our attention turns to deadline day tomorrow as we look to get a couple of deals done, I believe. Hopefully, maybe, who knows, a couple of deals, maybe 1 or 2 out of the door as well. Busy day for us all, and then of course 1 day off, and then we are back up to Chelsea on Saturday. But yeah, Luke and Andy, thank you very much for coming on.
Cheers, Jake. Take care.
Thank you very much.
See you, Andy.
Thanks, Jake. Cheers,
Ciao,
mate.
on your minds, and we'll catch you soon right here on West Unofficial. Cheers, guys, and bye-bye.